Hi everyone, it's Natalie from NatalieDesign.com. There's a trend right now on TikTok that consists of painting your favorite anime character on glass. My daughter did several paintings herself, and I thought, why not adapt this to the Cricut? Obviously, I don't use glass, but craft plastic, which works just as well. So I'm going to show you all the steps to achieve these awesome home decor objects. The first one we're going to do is this fun quote, and the second is a little fox made from a single line file. So first of all, the first thing we're going to do is upload our image, and the image is this home is filled with endless love and laundry. So I bought it from Design Bundle. I will link to it on my blog and in the description of this video. Now I want to show you that this is a new design space, the version 6.4, and you have a different image now when you try to insert an SVG file. So I like that. It's by default on a cut image, so you can change the name and use some tags. And I'm going to click upload. Then you select it and insert image. And here we have it. Okay, so first thing I do, because I don't want to forget it, and I always do, I'm sure you know what I mean, is to flip my image right away. So I don't wait to be on the mat to do so, because I always forget when I get to that point. So I just want to remember, and I do it right away, especially when they are words. You'll see for the other one, the little fox that we did, I forgot to flip it, but it's just an image, so it's not very important. It still looks pretty good, but it's very important when you have words. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw a shape. I'm going to suppose that I want to put it in a frame that's 8 by 10. So I'm going to unlock the lock and write 8 by 10. I'm going to select pen, and that's another menu that Design Space just changed. It's called Operation. They have merged the two menus that were side by side. So now you need to go here to draw and you select pen. It kind of looks mostly the same. So we're going to do the same thing for the group. So we're going to come here and select pen. And now let's see if I want to, let's zoom out a bit. So I know if I want to scale it a little bit, I think it's a bit too big. I think like that could be fine. So let me send this one to back because I cannot select this group if it's on the front. Yeah, so this is what I'm gonna go with. So I'm gonna select it all, and I'm gonna center it. I'm gonna go and give you my trick to position it on the mat. And the best way I like to do it is to put the position that I have, now that everything is selected, to 1 and 1. And this is going to put the rectangle, that is the shape that is at the top and left right now, to 1 and 1 very precisely. So you see? So this is where we're going to put our plastic on our mat, at 1 and 1. And in order to not to have to move it on the mat and put it there, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create another shape, a little circle, that I'm going to put to draw also. And I'm going to put it very, very small. So 0.1 and 0.1. So it's very tiny. And I'm going to position it at 0.25 and 0.25. And why am I positioning it there? Well, that's because this is the margin that Cricut Design Space gives. So the only thing I need to do is to close this square because I don't want it to draw the square. I'm going to select all and I'm going to attach. If you follow me, when I hit make it, it's going to position the little circle at the top 0.25 and 0.25 inches. And it's going to, by default, position this exactly at the right place for me to put my plastic to 1 and 1. So if you look closely, and if I put my plastic right here, the corner, the plastic is 8 wide. So from 1 to 9, it's going to go. So you can see that 9 versus 1, it's very, very nicely centered. It's perfectly like that. So the only thing you need to do is continue, wait till it connects to your Maker or your Cricut, whatever you have. And we're going to select acrylic. So acrylic is at the bottom, the last section. Acrylic thin 1mm. I did this and it worked well for me. And we're gonna load our pen. I'm gonna go and show you how right away. So what we'll need craft plastic. This is the one I have bought from Amazon. I'll link to it on my blog. And it's 12 by 12 sheets, so I'm gonna cut it the size I want. And we're gonna need oil-based Sharpie. Any oil-based pen can do the trick. You're going to need an adapter to put the Sharpie pen inside. And this adapter, I bought it from Springbok Craft Supply. They work very well and they fit perfectly in a Maker or in an Explorer Air too. So let me cut this and we'll be putting it into the Maker right after. There's some protective sheet on both sides, so we're going to need to remove the protective sheet. I'm just going to remove one of the two sides, and I will put it on my mat at 1 and 1. If you don't want it to draw on your mat, you can put a little tape here. So this is a Sharpie that has a little balls inside. So you need to make your ink come out before putting it into your Cricut. And put it in the adapter like that. You remove your other adapter. So this one is usually right here in your Cricut. So it's pretty easy. You just need to put your finger beneath it and just hold it like that and push forward. And that's it, it's removed. And then you take your pen, make sure it's working and the ink is really out, and put it into your Cricut and insert your mat, and you're ready to draw. So while your Cricut is drawing, I strongly suggest that you watch over it, first because it's so fun to watch, but mostly because if the ink is missing, you'll need to pause your Cricut and just shake your pen and make the ink come out, and put your pen back in the Cricut and then press back on the Cricut button. If at the end of the drawing you see that they're still missing some parts, no worries, just keep the mat in the Cricut, don't remove the mat, don't unload it, and just press back on the Cricut button so it will go and make a second pass on all the design. That's what I ended up doing, so it draws on the little missing parts and it is perfect that way. So I decided to go with these paints, and I'm going to be painting the letters. I've tried it on my Design Space to see how it looked, and I think it looks good. So the trick is really to add a lot of paint, really thick paint. So if you want, you can use, I have different kind of brushes here. There's still the protector on this side, but I just wanted to show you. I don't know if you can see it, but this is not layered nearly thick enough. I'm getting it right here a bit better, but I'm gonna need 2 layers. So I just wanted to show you how important it is to layer it very, very thick. If you go over, don't worry, just use a toothpick and you can just scratch it a little bit and the paint will come off. So don't worry about it. It is still a delicate job. So I decided for the endless to add a little shadow. So what I'm going to imagine myself is that there's a sun that comes here. So everything that is under, I will add a little shadow line. And for that, I used some brown that I mixed up with my yellow paint to make it a bit more darker, shadowy if you want. And I'm hoping it will give it a good look. It's not always easy to do that and to imagine where the shadow is. So you can do it or not. It's up to you. No worries. Once the shadow is dried, I'm just gonna put some yellow, regular yellow on top of it. So it doesn't matter if I go over the shadow because it's only the first layer that matters on the other side. And one thing I want to tell you too is that you're not really painting. Just keep that in mind. You're more dabbing your paint than painting. So if you paint like that, you're gonna see through it. You're more like dabbing and adding some thick layer of paint. Fortunately, I don't think my shadow was dark enough. So lesson learned, but for sure I still have the protective sheet on it, so it might not be that bad. Maybe once I remove the protective sheet, I will see it better, but I don't think I see it enough to my taste. So let's just continue adding some yellow. So another technique I want to show you is how to add this to your design so it sparkles a bit. And I'm going to do this with Mod Podge. I've tried to put some glitter a bit everywhere by adding some Mod Podge in the letters and sprinkling the glitter all over it. And it didn't do a very good job. You see there's some parts that are missing glitters everywhere, so sorry about the reflection. What I really suggest is that you put some Mod Podge on your paper here and mix some glitter in it and add the glitter with a paintbrush to the letters, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. And furthermore, if you sprinkle glitters everywhere, well, there are glitters everywhere right now, and I did remove them like that, but you know how glitter is. It's everywhere, always. So let's try to do this. So I'm really applying a really big layer of glitter, really thick. And what I think I'm going to do right after, as I did here, you can see, I added some paint after that. And I think it really looks pretty. I don't know if you can see it very well. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So for the fox, we're going to do the exact same thing. It's pretty simple. I'm just going to go faster on this one. We're going to upload, we're going to browse, and I'm going to go get my single line file where I've saved it from Design Bundle. So a single line file is the drawing file. So when you upload it, you might see something weird come in to Design Space. You see it fills these little parts, but as soon as you put them to draw with the pen, it is perfect. So the first thing I should have done was to flip it right away, but I think I was too excited and I didn't do it. So, but it still looks good that way anyway. So I just want to show you also, if you want to have some single line images in Design Space, there's a pretty easy way to do it. So in here, when you search images, you can come here and go to Operation Type. So Operation Type, you'll have a draw only images. So if you go like this, you'll have the same thing as my fox, or you can buy this right here, or you can also just go to ownership and click on free, and then you'll have the free ones if you want to have. These little flowers are pretty cute, so there are some of them that you can use. So be free to take and use these ones like that. As for a fox, I want to put it in a frame 5 by 7, so I'll do the same thing. I'm gonna draw a square and unlock the lock and go to 5 by 7, enter, and I'm gonna send it to back right away and put it to pen so I see it better. So we need to scale this little one for sure. So that's I think I like it like that. So again, align and center, and then for the position, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna position it to 1 and 1. So it's the same thing, same process. Again, circle. Let's put it to the pen and very small, and to 0.25 and 0.25. Again, let's close this one, select all, and attach. And we're ready to draw. Finally, I just want to show you how my daughter painted the little fox, because it's a bit different when you have colors that are next to each other. You can see that she adds a lot of paint and also dabs the paint on the drawing. She's seriously more talented than I am, and she's beginning to have also a lot more experience considering all the anime she made. So just remember that you need to put a lot of paint in order to have a very thick layer. Also, when you paint the last colors, it doesn't really matter if you go over the other layers, especially if it's white you're using. We won't see it because you'll only see the first layer that was painted. So that's why it's a bit easier when you have colors side by side. So I want to show you the back of both projects so you can see how much paint you need to put on. You see, you really have to put a lot. With that, I hope you like this original project. I think it can also make a fun painting projects for children. Don't forget to come and show me what you're doing on my Facebook group. Thanks for being there, and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye!